Let's see. Let's move on from the competitive shows and start talking about. Let's go to
Right.
live action stuff. Clarissa Explains It All was mentioned earlier. I used to like that show. It was
Me
more of a
too.
normal show, but I used to like it too.
I like how she had a little alligator and it was named Elvis. And also I think the coolest thing of the show, this girl just freaking did everything. She made her own video games. Like whenever she had like a trouble, like something bothering her, she would make a video game out of it. Like I remember she came up with this whole elaborate plan of how to get her brother, little Ferguson, into a straitjacket, and she put the whole scenario into a video game.
He
That
was
was
a
awesome.
little douchebag. I fucking hated that guy.
Yeah.
His whole character was just like the biggest douche ever.
He supported Dan Quayle. Of course he's a douche.
The only thing I do remember from that show that I didn't appreciate as a kid until I started becoming a fan of the series itself was they were fighting over the remote control and it turned into lightsabers. And
Yes.
at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point, I wasn't a Star Wars fan. I hadn't seen any of the movies. And then eventually when I did see that, then it was just like, oh, lightsabers and Clarissa Explains It All. The show just instantly becomes cooler. I used to like how that friend of hers, though, would just pop in through the window. Like,
Hey
real-
Sam.
Yeah, that theme song. It was like his version of the Law and Order gavel. Everywhere he goes, as soon as he enters the room, it just goes. Meow, meow.
I wonder if that's his text tone. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make that my text tone now. Yeah, taking it before all of you.
I'm running down a list now. I went full Wikipedia mode here.
You never go full Wikipedia, dude.
Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yes. Oh man.
Can we talk about how Little Pete is actually a voice on Grand Theft Auto 5?
What?
Oh really?
He does the voice of Jimmy DeSanta, one of the minor characters.
God damn.
Type.
I fucking gotta get that game now. God damn it.
It'd be
Talk
great
about
if
how
he
Big
voiced
Pete
Pete.
is a bartender in Brooklyn now, and if you ever mention the show Pete and Pete, he gets really upset and cries in the back room.
How the fuck
Wait.
do you know this?
This
Because
happens.
I live in New York.
Because I tried.
Give me
Yeah.
the address. I'm going up there next weekend.
It's called Sonny's. It's in Brooklyn. Look it up.
Sunny.
I might be going up there this winter, so I'm gonna have to take a look at
I
that.
don't like Brooklyn.
I'm going.
Yeah, no,
immediately.
Brooklyn's not a cool place. And it's in like the hipster area of Brooklyn too.
Ew, gross.
Somebody should go in wearing that outfit that dude used to wear, the stripes.
Party
Already strongest man.
Best in the world.
in the world. I'm gonna do that. He is fucked. Sunny's.
That or bring him some of the barbecue and see if he eats it the proper way. Does anybody remember that episode?
Vaguely.
The underwear inspector or whatever he was, and he was like super proper, and he would even eat barbecue food with like a fork and a knife. And it was like, oh, that's your whole thing. You do it wrong because you didn't get dirty. And he was just like, oh crap, I guess I should smear barbecue sauce all over my face from now on.
Yeah, the bus driver who was a total pervert. It also would get really depressing and emo. Go back to Artie. A fun fact I didn't find out for a while after I started watching the show. Artie is the voice of many people over on King of the Hill, including Cotton Hill and Khan, the angry Asian neighbor.
Oh,
No
wow.
way. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Awesome.
If you listen really
Hold on.
carefully, especially to Cotton, you can hear it.
I need to mention this. This is not on topic at all, but based on King of the Hill, I did this thing last night. It was basically a game show, like quiz show thing. And one of the audio rounds was name this Texas cartoon character. And it was Hank Hill's voice saying a line from the show. No one got it.
What?
That's because King of the Hill blows.
What?
I
Go
hate that show.
Fuck yourself.
What?
Go
No,
no,
fuck
no,
yourself.
Hill, though.
God damn it, Tony.
I've literally written a post called King of the Hill Sucks in the past.
Well, it's
Damn
wrong.
it, Bobby. How dare you?
You just
Tony,
don't
you're
understand.
fired from Fanboys Anonymous.
I've hated that show since its inception.
I am gonna strap you down Clockwork Orange style and make you watch
I
it
think
until
we-
you
Like
understand.
three-
Us boys.
I think
Tony,
wait.
Tony, like 3/4 of us on this podcast know where you live. So I mean,
We should just have the next podcast should just be all of us yelling at Tony for an hour and a half about how he's
King of the
wrong
Hill?
about King of the Hill. Yeah.
Well, see, you don't need to do a Clockwork Orange thing because every time I see King of the Hill, I already get sick to my stomach. Ooh.
Oh.
We will get our revenge.
Your stomach is wrong.
I'm gonna
You know
find a
what,
midget
guys?
called
You
Cotton.
know what? You know what? That boy ain't right.
Hang on, guys. You're gonna hate me too because I don't care for King of the Hill too much. I'll watch some episodes if they're on, but I'm kind of with Tony on this. I'm sorry, guys.
You're out of the group.
burn him.
So you know what? You can all just salute our shorts.
Burn.
Segway.
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 Which, by the way, who were the best two? We have to agree. Donkey Lips and Budnick.
Absolutely, they made the show.
Because nobody can remember anybody else's name except for Ugg.
I remember Sponge, I remember Nikki, and I remember Mike. I don't know if you remember Mike, and if you also remember Pinsky. Do you remember
Oh,
Pinsky?
Pinsky. All right, I remember Pinsky.
And let me tell you, Pinsky is especially important to me because Pinsky from that show would later go on to form the band Rilo Kiley, which is one of my favorite bands of all time, also with the front lady Jenny Lewis, who was the little red-haired girl from the movie The Wizard with Fred Savage. Uh-huh. She's a beautiful redhead lady these days, let me tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
I knew that was coming.
And of course, Ugg. And we'd be remiss if we did not mention Zeke, the plumber.
I don't remember Zeke.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember there's like that Halloween episode where they're all like telling scary stories, and Budnick tells the story about this plumber who comes back from the dead, and he
Oh yeah.
lost his nose or something in like a pipe explosion.
No, I don't remember this at all.
And like
I remember
he
that.
haunts the campers by going up to them in their sleep and shoving a plunger in their face.
I think the only thing I really remember from that show was Camp Anawana, We Hold You in Our Hearts. And when we think about you, it makes me want to fart. And the guy's like, I hope we never part. Now get it right or pay the price.
I remember episode-wise, the only one I can really bring to my recollection is the one where Budnick and one other guy, and I don't remember who it was, maybe it was like Sponge or something, they were kind of in like a detention thing. Or no, they were sick, that's what it was. They were sick and they were off by themselves and they had nothing to do, and they ended up doing like a puzzle and ended up being ice cream, and the whole episode was about them trying to find ice cream.
But they did the puzzle upside down, so the one kid was like, this is a waste of time while we're doing this. And he's like, why don't you flip it over the puzzle and you'll find out why. And he flips it over and it reveals just like 100 scoops of ice cream, and then the kid turns around, Budnick's like, I found the ice cream, and he like unlocked the freezer and found all the ice cream.
It was like the most philosophical thing in the world for a little kid. They're like, oh my god, you can like do this backwards, and like it teaches you like delayed gratification. And it's just a stupid show, like.
Actually, got that little backwards. Well, they faked being sick. But they didn't want to go on this field trip. So the two boys actually made this weird concoction inside of a baseball helmet. And they got a mouthful of it. And they went up to Ugg. You know, it's like they looked like they were going to get sick, and they both threw up on them. So that way they went to the infirmary for the rest of the episode. And that's when they wanted to get ice cream.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's see,
Bobby Budnick was also in Terminator.
Yeah, he
Yes,
has
he
that
was.
infamous scene where he just stares and he's like rocking out to You Could Be Mine, and he goes, bow, for no reason whatsoever. Favorite movie of all time. One other camp kind of thing, Hey Dude. And I wasn't actually a big fan of Hey Dude, but Paden, I think that you had said that you were, right?
I think it was a good show. I mean, it was not by far the best, but I thought Mr. Ernst was funny. Chad and Ted and their constant competition with the girls. And I like the Western setting. I don't think we see too many shows like that, especially for kid shows. And, you know, it had its own charm to it. It wasn't amazing. As far as the live action shows, I would probably rank it towards the bottom, but at least from our generation, but still good.
Christine Taylor was a part of that show. And for those who don't recognize the name, she is the very pretty blonde woman who is married to Ben Stiller.
Oh.
So that's where she comes from.
Hmm.
I don't remember anybody else
Indeed.
though.
That's a pretty shitty career when you're known for Hey Dude and being married to Ben Stiller.
I remember her for being Marcia in the Brady Bunch remake.
Oh yeah, she was.
Oh, God, I fucking hate that movie.
I only watched it for her.
I didn't give a shit. The movie was terrible. Next topic.
What other ones we got here? Welcome Freshmen.
Yes, yes.
I don't remember that one.
I don't think
What
I've ever
the-
seen an episode of that one.
I remember it, but I don't hold memories of it. Like that's a show that's really blurred its way to my memory.
Yeah, the title means more to me than the show itself. I remember the title, but I don't remember specifics about the show. Kind of similar to, now I can't even remember the title of the show. Wow.
Oh.
Never mind on that one.
Reminds me of Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, Kids in the Hall. It's kind of like that.
Eh? Really?
At least the opening.
Yeah, the first season of Welcome Freshmen was more like a sketch show set in high school. And, of course, the one segment of the whole show I remember the most is the Murvumentary. Because it's this one... Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The only thing I really remember was the beginning of the show, the title credits, they had like somebody's face pop out. I think he like broke and shattered or something. It might not even be that show if I'm mixing that up.
No.
I think you are. I'm watching the intro now, and it. All I can say is looking at the credits that are rolling, careers. These people clearly went on to be something.
Poor kids.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. Not a single person's name is a link.
Oh, that's sad.
You know, I'm watching the intro too, and I can see where it was heavily inspired, influenced by Kids in the Hall. It has the same art style.
Yeah, it's doing like the let's keep moving this live action camera over here, and go black and white, go into color. Yeah, Kids in
Yeah,
the
a
Hall.
lot of 8mm, 16mm film being used here.
Yeah.
One sketch show that I'm sure we'll all have something to talk about, though. All of that.
God, yes.
Yep.
That is one of the best shows, I think, that Nickelodeon had.
The original, not the
For, like,
bullshit in
one or
the 2000s.
I never watched that.
You're lucky.
The last
Yeah.
incarnation that I remember was when they just started introducing Amanda Bynes. After that, I don't know what happened.
I made it to Danny Tamborelli, I think.
Yeah, that's where I started tuning out too.
Hmm.
I remember, okay, watching it back then, it was the funniest shit on the planet. Watching it now, they just hurt each other a lot.
Really?
They just beat the shit out of each other, and then the people just laugh.
More pain, more funny.
Yeah, because like I always wondered, and this is before I actually went back and started watching it again, how Kel didn't make it to SNL, but Kenan did. And then I went back and watched Kel, and Kel is just always falling through shit. That's all he does. Falls through a table, falls through a roof, hits his hand on something. He was just all slapstick, get hurt comedy.
Yeah, but he went, everything went back to normal because he was a repairman, man.
Fucking
And he
love
was the
that
Good
sketch.
Burger dude.
Yeah, Good Burger. Holy shit.
I
Totally
actually
didn't
really
warrant a
loved the
movie,
movie they did.
but- Oh, you like the
It's
movie?
terrible.
I thought.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nebret?
Nah.
Uh, I'm a dude.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
He's a dude.
We're all dudes. Hey.
Hey.
Oh,
I'm
God.
forget the racist undertones of him loving orange soda.
Yes.
Who loves orange soda?
Kel loves orange soda.
Orange
It's not like
soda.
he was like, I like juices in the little plastic barrels.
What were
Is
some other
it
sketches
true?
from all that? We had the librarian, Lori Beth
Let's
Dinberg.
go to the library.
Vital information.
Vital information,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Fucking love that one.
Everyday French with Pierre Escargot.
That was
That
a
was
great one.
fantastic. That was my
When that one little girl would make do her Ross Perot impression.
Oh,
for,
yeah.
your voice.
yes.
It was just like laughing with this real obnoxious thing and throwing money around.
Yeah, throwing money around. I'm rich.
Can somebody remind me of the name of this one? What was the sketch where the girl would get like asks and she
Ask
would like,
Ashley.
yes, and she would just flip the fuck out.
That's me.
So hot.
What was that?
Amanda Bynes, Ask Ashley.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's time for Ask Ashley.
and there was the big ear guy, whatever that was called. Big,
Ear
but
boy.
it's Ear Boy, right? Yeah.
Ear boy and pizza face.
It's Ear
Yeah.
Boy, Ear Boy. His ears are really big. They spent a lot of time working on that theme.
What about Detective Dan?
Oh yeah.
I'm Detective Dan.
Ah, he
What
said
about
it.
Milkman, who was a ripoff of Superman, and his kryptonite was milk?
No,
I like to
Yeah.
go for long walks on the beach and pet little puppies. I also like to look at the beautiful sunrise on the ocean.
And then every single time that they would do that, somebody would like throw a piece of cheese at him, or whatever, and it would immediately like he would just fall down, and that same girl every time would come up to him and like take the cheese away or whatever. But it was no matter what the situation was, it was always the same girl.
Yeah.
Whether it was a bank or on the street corner or anything, always that girl was all there to just be like, "Let me help out, Milkman."
Oh, what was that one? Lori Death. I'm Connie Mondoon. Anybody remember her?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
She would just show up on random skits and, "Hi, I'm Connie Mondoon, and I would like a cheeseburger." Whatever.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that one at all.
Basically, she was a stuck-up snob. Stuck-up snob.
There it is.
Yeah. There's too many N's in there the first time.
There were too many ends on that show, period.
Then they had
That
that.
was that comic from Sam Lassio.
There were too many new people. Jesus Christ, you bunch of racists.
Oh, now you're using the Lord's name in vain.
Once again, that is
God
Sam
damn it.
Lassio. He goes to Penn State University.
There were
P.O.
the,
Box 303. What?
the two people with the chocolate show,
605-2.
the chocolate cooking show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chris Farley guest starred on one of those.
Yeah, he did.
Did you just eat everything?
He was doing ketchup on everything.
Ketchup? Oh,
He did ketchup on everything, and Kenan did chocolate on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then
used to
Farley just
eat-
yelled.
everything that was on that. What were some other things we had from all that? I don't
The two
remember a
old-
lot of
the musical guest, which was always my least favorite part of the show.
Yeah. But they had Coolio like half the time.
Didn't Drake Bell have a popular skit on that show?
He was on the Amanda show.
Yeah, him and Josh were on the Amanda show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember that. After
He
that,
may have been on one of the later seasons. I couldn't confirm or deny that.
I know one of the episodes of all that the Spice Girls were on.
Mm-hmm.
They participated in the sketch and then they performed a song.
And the sketch was pretty much, "Oh my God, you're the Spice Girls."
oh,
Exactly.
Oh,
Really?
the opening sketch to all that was always them like chilling in the green room, and that guy coming in 5 minutes.
Kevin?
5 minutes.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And they'd always be hanging out with the big ear of corn.
Oh yeah, the big ear of corn.
Big ear of corn.
What an odd
God
thing to
damn.
throw into this show.
It's such a random show.
I get that they would do Milkman and be like, "Hey, remember Milkman? Yeah, okay, well, let's make a superhero out of Milkman." Like, okay, and then let's try to get political, even though kids don't understand any of this with the Ross Perot stuff, and any of this kind of stuff really makes a lot of sense. But the big ear of corn, why did they one day just go, we need something in the corner here? I don't know, big ear of corn or something.
I think they just found it in like one of the closets, and it was probably a prop for something that Nickelodeon used ages ago, and they're just like, "Oh, just throw it in the green room; it'll look cool."
Became their
it just-
mascot.
Just became like part of the set piece that was well liked and became a character of its own.
All that. Definitely one of my favorite shows that Nickelodeon had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it kicked off 2 spin-offs. So, because it kicked
Yeah.
off Kenan and Kel, and it kicked off the Amanda show.
That's true.
It
And
also
I used to
kicked
like
off the Amanda show.
And then Amanda kicked off.
the face of the earth. Kenan and Kel was the show that I used to like. Even the
Yeah.
theme song was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, here it goes.
But I did not like My Brother and Me.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I have no memory of that.
Goo punch. Come on. Goo punch.
There was that one friend of theirs, the little blonde kid, who was afraid of everything, a complete pussy in like every possible way. He was just a little runt of the show.
Oh, I remember this now.
Yeah, that was not one of my favorite ones. So fuck that show. A lot of people used to like The Secret World of Alex Mack, but I don't remember much about that myself. I don't think I really watched that.
I would watch it when it was on, but I'm the same way. I don't really remember much about it.
She was hot.
Yeah, she was. They had a bunch of hot girls in
It was
Nickelodeon back in the day.
It was cool because it was kind of sciencey. They didn't have a lot of sciencey stuff at that time. It was all just pure comedy type stuff. It was kind of cool to see a show where they toned down the comedy a little bit and went in a little bit of a different direction.
What was the name of that one show that was a little bit serious? It was like Ghost Rider or something?
That was PBS.
Oh, that was
They
I thought
did
that was-
syndicate it, but I mean, they had shows like that. They had like The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo and The Journey of
Oh,
Alan Strange and Caitlin's Way.
Didn't they have Nick News as well with
They had
Linda?
Nick News.
Linda Ellerby.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
boring. That was the worst part of their whole schedule.
Damn you for trying to educate me.
Every
Remember-
time they came on, change the channel.
Did we talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, I was actually
No.
just going to bring that up because one
God
show that
damn
actually
it.
would freak me out every once in a while. was
Yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? That used
It
to
was
be
like
kinda scary.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
The only thing that scared me of that show was that clown in the opening intro. Always had to look away when it went for that.
That
close-up of
whole
the clown.
intro creeped me out as a kid.
Yeah.
There was that one really big dude who was in like half the episodes. Do you guys remember him?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
He was like Hagrid, kind of. Or at least he was in my memory. He probably looks nothing like that.
I choose to accept that reality.
Isn't that the same guy who was in the Harry Potter films?
That's who Hagrid is.
I'm sorry. Okay, I haven't seen the movies. I just didn't place name to the face. But okay, all right, been proven right.
He might have been the actual actor.
Okay.
I don't know what he done.
I can't think of the guy's name now. I know the guy's name because he was in a Bond film too, but I can't think of it. Off
The
top of
chicks were hot.
I don't remember
Chicks
any of
were
the
hot.
cast members for Are You Afraid of the Dark whatsoever.
Yeah, and neither do I.
I just
Neither
remember that
did
a
I.
lot of stories had to deal with somebody going into like a clock store or like an antique shop, and then something was cursed or whatever. A lot of it was like
It was always
an old
cursed in
man
that show.
working on something and it's magic and everything.
My favorite episode of the whole show was when this one kid was always he was obsessed with death and funerals, and then he actually walked in. He heard about this one radio station that was not even on the dial, and he walks in and it's actually purgatory.
That's dark for a kid's show.
I know.
Yeah, I was about to
Jesus
say,
Christ.
No,
Yeah.
do you remember?
Yes.
No, my favorite episode of the entire show was the one where the kid was a ghost and he would say, "I'm cold," and it turned out he froze to death in the woods and he just wanted his sweatshirt.
What the fuck were we watching as kids?
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Stop. That's what it
6 and
was.
7-year-olds and 8-year-olds watching this crap.
It's
Hey.
a Canadian show. I think that explains a lot.
But this was also Snick. We're supposed to be in bed by the time this stuff came on.
That's true. That is true.
Instead, we're all like right up to the TV screen getting cancer from it.
Speaking
I remember when TVs gave us cancer.
What are you talking about? They still do.
Good times. Good
There-
times.
There's not much that doesn't give us cancer these days.
Breathing gives you cancer nowadays, so I mean, what the fuck?
They're gonna make an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode where we all die from cancer.
Oh.
what to do with the show. But
The
speaking-
cancer was television.
Dun 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 dun.
The twist at the end is that they put up the thing that just says "Go outside and start watching." We give you cancer.
But speaking of Snick, who remembers Roundhouse?
Dumb.
That was kind of stupid. It was these. For anybody who's not seen the show, first of all, bless you, and second of all, it was these. I don't know if you were improv actors and dancers. They were doing all these really fast sketches, and it was stupid as shit.
It's like they would gather together. They would do like 3 lines that led to some really dumb punchline that was maybe half funny if like you didn't hear the joke 10 times before. And then they would break apart, do some really stupid dance routine, and then the dad would come in on his moving chair, which was pretty badass, and tell the kids to stop creating a ruckus or whatever he would say. I remember they had a contest where they gave away one of those chairs that the dad rode around in. I wanted that so bad because that was kind of cool, a mobile chair.
I have no idea what show you guys are talking about. I must have hated it.
Kids have it.
The only reason why I watched the show is because one of the girls on the show was always wearing thigh highs. And I was at that age like, ooh, damn, that looks hot.
Do you want to hear something that's depressing about Snick?
When did you leave that age?
What's it?
Snick turned 21 3 weekends ago.
What?
That's legal.
Yeah, they can drink now. The orange couch is coming out on town with us.
Sweet. Someone is spilling the vodka on the orange couch.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see
So
what some
Nikki,
other
not
shows
even
were out
21.
there. I'm having trouble thinking of another live action show that I used to watch.
I got one. Oh, I didn't watch. Like I watched it occasionally, and I remember hating it. It was Space Cases, which was Nickelodeon's attempt at making their own Star Trek. It was so boring. Like as I was saying before, I kind of liked where they were going, kind of sciencey with Secret World of Alex Mack. Completely opposite. I hated what they were doing with Space Cases.
What about Harriet the Spy?
I didn't like that.
That was just a movie, though, wasn't it?
Movie?
That was a movie.
No, wasn't it
Rosie
based
O'Donnell?
on?
Was it based on a book?
She was
It
a
wasn't-
Pete.
Yeah.
It was I know it was a Nickelodeon movie, but I don't think it was a show.
It was a movie.
It
Might have
based on
actually
a
turned into a show, but it was a movie.
Okay.
Consulting Wikipedia.
It's not that important. Let's move on.
You know what another dumb live action show they had, and it was also imported from Canada? 15. I can't be the only one who remembers this.
Not ringing a bell for me.
Nope.
No, I'm out.
You remember 100 Deeds for Eddie McDowd?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had George Carlton as the guy who cast the curse on him.
I don't remember that one either.
Did
Oh,
he
is that
ever?
one where a kid is a bully and he gets turned into a dog and he has to do good deeds as a dog in order to get turned back into a kid?
Did he ever get all the?
No.
Yeah, he
No.
ever turned back?
The show was tragically canceled before he was able to complete all 100 deeds. I was
So you're
very
telling me
sad
he's
about
still a fucking
that.
dog?
He's still a dog.
He's still a dog. He's probably
God!
he's dead
died
by now. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh my God!
Shut the fuck up, you guys!
This is
Wait a
devastating.
minute. According
When
to Wikipedia, Seth Green did the voice of that dog in season 1.
Oh my God! Seth Green's dead.
That explains so
Guys,
much.
everyone here is legally an adult now, and we're crying over a decade-old TV show about a dog.
This is
Goddamn
he's
right.
got 40 deeds done according to
I know.
Wikipedia.
He
He's got
worked-
60.
He worked so hard, and he's just gonna die like that.
We need to petition to bring this back. We need to see if Eddie makes it or not.
He's the
When did
Nickelodeon equivalent of Boston Brand for all the comic book.
If we try to bring this back, that poor dog is gonna look like what the fucking weenie dog did on Toy Story 3.
I'm okay with that, but he's got to fulfill his 60 more deeds.
That that makes it more compelling. He's got obstacles to overcome to get these good deeds done.
He can just turn to the camera every once in a while. I'm too old for this shit.
And when he gets to the 100th deed, he just turns into Seth Green. It makes sense.
It all makes
It would
sense.
have been better if he stayed a dog.
They planned this out ahead of time.
Oh, they did.
Can't believe he's still a dog.
Hey, here's a funny thing I found out just about this. Seth Green only did the voice of Eddie McDowd for the first season. The second and third was done by Jason Hervey, who other people may better know him as the older brother on the Wonder Years. And I just found this out, and maybe not all of you will be able to appreciate this. I know Tony and Dace will. This is the same Jason Hervey that would go on to become best friends with Eric Bischoff and form Bischoff Hervey Productions.
Wow.
So he's still a dog too?
That means he's associated with TNA, so yes, he is in
Oh.
the doghouse.
Eric Bischoff just pets him behind the ear every now and then.
Wow, moving on.
One other live action thing that I wanted to mention. Maybe the best live action thing, if you can classify it as that. Stickly.
Yes.
The man.
Anybody else make their own Stick Stickly?
Yeah, I tried miserably to do.
Yeah, mine never looked as good. And how hard is it? It's just two little googly eyes and like a little piece of licorice.
Mine looked like it had something wrong with it. The googly eyes weren't googly enough or something. Or too googly.
Yeah.
How many people were pissed when he got replaced? Because I was pretty sure I stopped watching Nickelodeon after that went to Cartoon Network.
And they like teased that he was gonna come back a couple times too, jerks.
They used to have like intricate storylines for Stick Stickly.
Yeah, like he got lost in New York City, or he was looking for his brother or some crap.
That's got to be another one of those situations where somebody just like ate a popsicle and they were just standing around there and they're like, "Hey, look, it's I don't know, Stick Stickly."
No, what it was is that some guy was slacking off on his job, and his boss comes up to him, "Hey, did you come up with that character yet?" And he's sucking on a popsicle, and he's like, "Yeah, here it is. It's Stick Stickly. Yeah."
They're like,
We love it.
"It's brilliant, Phil. It's your
Genius.
best thing since the big giant ear of corn."
No, wait, that implies that he just had a giant ear of corn sitting in his office, and it's like, yeah, let's use this.
No, he was just eating ear of corn one day.
We need a big idea, Johnson. We need a big idea.
Well, I'm eating corn. How about we just take this and blow it up about 20 times?
This Phil Johnson guy must have been responsible for that Ear Boy theme.
The unsung heroes of Nickelodeon.
We're just gonna group everything with Phil Johnson here.
Oh, Phil.